groomer, and I am back in my playroom, which doubles as my office when I am feeling like a grown-up. But today is not one of those days. Are any of them really? I mean, really? Not so much. But I wanted to do this VR of sorts, and I just say of sorts because I don't believe it was ever anything like tagged with the intention of people doing video responses. It is just a video of Lisa Papez's that I saw at the beginning of 2021 that I took action on real fast. And I want to give this very belated response to it then. She spoke of a self-care toolkit that she had put together for herself, and she was giving tips for how one could create their own. And having freshly come out of 2020, I was like, count me in. I immediately started curating things that I could put into my little kit, and it is very fun, just the process of collecting the things and just thinking through what you might want to have in there, what you might need in there, and then the actual compiled kit in and of itself is, of course, a joy thereafter. And so now here I am, about a year and a half after first putting this together and finally sharing it. So first of all, thank you to Lisa Papez for the idea. It brought me such joy. If I could tuck her video into my self-care kit, I would, or many of her videos. Yeah. So anyways, without further ado, here's mine. Whoomp. We're gonna need a bigger basket. I got a little carried away when I was looking up things to stuff in there, and there is one treasured item that doesn't technically fit that I will share at the end, but I nonetheless count it as part of this. But yeah, this is heavy, and what I'm using as sort of a lid, this is my Jellycat beach leaf. So let me back up a little bit. As far as the self-care toolkit, the idea that Lisa was conveying was to compile this ready resource of things that can help you relax, find comfort, kind of take a step back and just tend to your needs in whatever time you're able to carve out for yourself. And they're just sort of, at least what I've put together, are just sort of quick little fixes just for that, momentary snatch of comfort. And I followed her lead as well, and very much going from an inner child standpoint, things that just make me feel young and playful. And so I have a lot of bright colors in here, and that speaks to one of the suggestions she gave, which was to try to appeal to all of the five senses. And so in that sensory experience, you may find your home center once again. In looking for something appealing to the sense of touch, I found my Jellycat beach leaf because the plush is so soft and he's just so squishy, and I really just wanted something that I could pull out and hug as well as pet. And when I do hug it, I say, "Let's hug it out, beach." So cute. I love them so much. And I love that the dimensions of it match the basket and becomes a lid for it. Another tactile experience, and I just smushed it, so let me let it come out a little bit. I think I directly stole this idea from Lisa, and I am forgetting what the brand of these are now, but it's a little squishy panda, because ever since I was a kid, pandas have been my favorite animal, and so I had to have that in there, and kind of smells like strawberries. But if I can remember what the heck brand this was, I got it on Amazon. I'll share that in the links in the description below. But That's really nice to just kind of give a squish. I also, let's see, I got this eye pillow filled with lavender. So that smells so nice, and just that weight on my eyes. Sometimes if I just need a break from editing or writing and I just really feel the eye strain, I'll just come lay on my rug back here and throw these over my eyes just to get that little bit of a break. I also have, let's see, for touch and scent, just put in a pink grapefruit hand cream by Farmology. And I have this hydrating coconut mist by e.l.f. So I might reach over from my work desk here and just give myself a spritz. Or if I'm feeling just dehydrated, like I desperately am feeling so dry now, put this on, and they just have lovely scents as well. And they just make my skin feel more smooth and supple. And then along those lines, I've got, is this EOS? Just lip balm. It smells bright and fruity, and it's yellow like my basket. So as you can see, everything's still staying brightly colored within the kit, which all appeals to my sense of sight. As for sound, I have this little rainbow colored frog here. So this is where I was really channeling inner child, because I was just thinking of being in grade school when the music teacher would come in with the percussion instruments and the rhythm sticks. So I was literally looking for rhythm sticks, and then I chanced on this, because I don't know, there is something kind of soothing about it. Also for sound, my inner child wanted a xylophone. I really did almost get myself a little rainbow xylophone, but I got a more adult version, maybe lotus drum. I've got some taste representatives here. Some emergency, these help fire me up when I'm feeling low energy. I got really into this when I was a teacher, and oh my God, I just needed to chug a mug of this to get me through the second half of my day. I also have some tea, decaf tea, so that I don't get even more like anxious and jacked up on caffeine. But I keep those in this little pouch here. The place that I got the on Etsy, I can't think of the shop. I'll include everything in the links below, but where I got my eye pillow also had these pins. It just, again, brightens things up. I have in the crystal realm, because I very much find comfort with crystals, just sitting and holding them, meditating with them, just sitting in contemplation. Again, just that tactile quality, but also drawing from their energies. I have a crystal skull that I have named Susie. She is crazy lace agate, and I just think she's adorable. She makes me smile whenever I see her. And so she's just like a little pal that I can keep in my kit. I also have some orange calcite and blue calcite. So just for energy, creativity, coolness, calmness, they kind of bring their own things. And the heart is a nice reminder of the self-love that I am aiming for. And this just looks like a big jelly belly to me. And so I love it for that reason too. Backing up to the sensations that I have in here, I made a little sachet of lavender and sage, white sage. Just because it's what I had on hand already, and they do smell quite nice together. So that's nice to have. Again, the shop where I got the eye pillow and the little felt pin, it's a little Zen garden. made out of like dried moss and felt and stone. And so what I will do is I keep this cloth in there. This is my reading cloth because I am going to get to some tarot next. So I got this from holisticshop.co.uk. I will lay that out and then place a crystal and this up at the top of it. It's a bit of atmosphere for the reading. Speaking of which, my chosen tarot deck for my self-care toolkit had to be my Way of the Panda tarot. As I mentioned, I have loved pandas since I was a child. They make me laugh, they give me warm fuzzies in my belly, and I get all the feels that I get from pandas, I get from this deck because it so adorably captures their spirit. They are just so cute and silly and roly-poly, and I adore the artwork of this deck. I adore the guidebook. I have both the little book that comes with the deck in the box, but then also the full-size guidebook, which I highly recommend if you're going to work with this deck. It gives each of these pandas so much personality, and you just really feel brought into their world. I get good readings from this deck. I get real readings from this deck. It can still tell me the tougher things, but it's like the sugar that helps the medicine go down. It does it with a gentle and loving energy. It's so sweet that, you know, especially if you're facing something difficult, contemplating something not so easy, it's a very sweet and gentle guide. So that is the Way of the Panda Tarot. This was the full-size edition, although I have seen that there's an adorable mini deck out there. I don't have it. I feel like I am not using this one enough as it is, and so I need to give this one more love, but I really love that there's a mini out there because that's just so darn cute. Who I pair it with by the same creator, Kimberly M. San, Sparkly Lenormand. There's our panda. So obviously these coordinate really well together, these two decks. And, you know, Lenormand, you really only need one deck because you're not really going off of the images and the artwork style. You're just going off what the object represented is, and it's the same thing deck to deck to deck. But obviously, from an aesthetic standpoint, it is very nice to have one that matches so well with tarot, because that's how I mainly use Lenormand. More often than not, I'm pulling it out and maybe pulling 2 or 3 cards as a supplement to a tarot reading. I don't often just use it on its own, but sometimes I will. But Lenormand can also be so frank. It's a lot more pragmatic and blunt than tarot can be. And I do find in that case that to have these nice, softer, colorful, cute images, it can help me to receive those messages a bit better also. And this actually comes already with pink edges. How cute. So I didn't even have to edge it. Okay, while still in the realm of decks, I also love to pair my tarot with Oracle. And so I actually have, well, a couple of things here. My Affirmators. This box drives me crazy. Every time I lift it up out of here, that comes loose. This is the original Affirmators deck, not the deluxe that I know is out there and is quite tempting to get because I enjoy this deck a great deal. Again, with these just cute, very playful, very childlike images and very funny, not always childlike descriptions. Actually, it can be kind of adult, the humor in there. But that is great, and I don't know why that's upside down. But I love to pull this as the last word in a reading. Again, I don't know why they're all mixed up. Probably because when I am shuffling this, I think it was the creator that said to do it where you just mash it all up in a pile and just swish it around and around and around and around. And I do tend to do it like that because that just feels very, once again, inner child. It's just fun. But then another one that I would also use to punctuate a reading as a more actionable step versus just something to sit and contemplate is the happiness chemicals. So I took these labels out. There are these tabs related to a specific chemical that each card relates to. They're color coded. Sorry, there's a glare. I've got a skylight right above me, and so it's hard to avoid that glare. But they're color coded so that you know what card corresponds with what. I just like to mix them up. I'm not approaching it where I'm looking through the file to find a specific chemical. I just have them all mixed up together, and you can see the different backs for each chemical. That still helps readily identify which is which. And just more simple, colorful, playful artwork that goes with these other decks. And it gives what we know, and it teaches a little bit about, for example, dance it off. What we know that dancing just feels good. Music stimulates us physically and emotionally, and studies have shown that dance movement therapy increases serotonin levels. And so then that's followed by a what to do section, which here says it doesn't matter if you're uncoordinated, just crank up the speakers in your bedroom or kitchen and literally dance like no one's watching, even if they are. So it's just nice to have like, okay, do this thing. Don't just like sit and think about it. This is something that could help you. That was the happiness chemicals. All right. Oh, I forgot I still had some more crystals here. I've got a little pouch of very shiny, glimmery aura quartz. I learned from Energy Muse a few years ago. I think I saw it on their blog or video or somewhere. They did a body layout, and it was basically taking these crystals and placing them at certain points, certain ones at certain points of your body, and just laying there for, I think, 11 minutes. And then at the end, you just feel like all shimmery and revitalized. I've done it, and it was very cool. So I will try to find that source and link it below so that you can try it out for yourself. It did just feel really like relaxing and invigorating, and it was nice. And mixed in with the little kit that I needed for that, I see I also, just for fun, have this like, it's an aura opalite star. I've got some angelite in here, a moon, and a kitty. So I love cats, and I wanted cats represented in some way. So that's that little like unicorn kit for if I want to lay down and do that body layout and at least get a little power nap in. I also have a little pouch with a rose quartz massager when I just need to kind of work out tension, sinus pain, what have you. It just feels nice and cold and refreshing. And rose quartz giving those loving, healing vibes. So that's an essential crystal to have in my kit, I think. And then this is a green Jade Roller, which I can do the same and just kind of massage out my face and find some calm. And speaking of my face, I threw in some of these Garnier vitamin C shot tissue masks. Truth be told, I think I put it in just because psychologically it makes me feel good, like knowing it's there. I've never tried these though, so if anyone has, and like if I'm gonna peel my face off with it, give me a heads up in the comments before I try it. And I also got these, what is this, computer eyes iPads. It's like cool cucumber iPads. Also have yet to use them, so I mean, remains to be seen how effective they are. But I stole this directly from Lisa. At least at that time, she had the book Tarot for Self-Care in her kit. So going with my Panda Tarot, sometimes I might just pull a one card reading and then look up in here accordingly, because this will offer traditional tarot meanings, but then it also offers these self-care activities for each one. So I just think it's very nice that it's looking at the tarot through that particular lens. And then last but absolutely not least, I threw another book in here because there had to be representation. Along with the cats and the pandas, I had to have my other spirit animal. Be More Buffy, a guide to slaying every day. And this is so damn cute. Again, whimsical illustrations. Goes through all the characters. You could be more Xander if you wanted to. I don't know if Xander's always the wise choice, but you know, he has growth in those later seasons, so be more maybe season 7 Xander versus like season 1, season 2 Xander. How about that? But whatever, it just has these little tips, life lessons, like to be more Willow. Every hero needs a sidekick in, and Willow Buffy has the best possible sleigh buddy. With brains bigger than Cordelia's ego, Willow provides a lot of the smart thinking that helps the Scooby's plans to succeed. Once she begins practicing magic, she becomes even more essential, her abilities proving to be the decisive factor in several key battles. So it gets into other traits and then like little bullet point of lessons to be learned from her. Despite being picked on viciously by bullies, she doesn't let it make her bitter. Willow celebrates her love of knowledge and learning and never holds back from passing it on. Compassion is a magic in its own right. Bravery comes in many forms. Sometimes it's confronting our enemies, other times it's standing up and being proud of who you are. And on and on and on. It is just such a lovely little book, whether you are familiar with Buffy, a fan of it or not. And it just makes me happy. Obviously I love Buffy. I've done a video on my Buffy love before. I will probably do more in the future. But the whole DVD collection of Buffy that I have, I could also dump into the self-care kit if there were room, because that is what I watch when I need to cheer up. Even though Buffy and the Scoobies deal with some heavy issues themselves, especially, season 6. But generally, there's just so much love and lightness in them too, and it is just like wrapping myself in a snuggly blanket and just gives me everything that I need at that time. It is a go-to for me, and so this book was the way I found to represent that in my kit, which is now empty, but I did promise you, didn't I, that there is one more item I was not able to fit in, but I consider it quite essential, quite essential. Any guesses? That's right, that's right. I got a yellow effing tambourine to go with my big yellow basket. Sorry if I have completely assaulted your senses with that one. This would go under the hearing category, but you know, if I were to follow my happiness chemical card on dancing, this would be a very fun thing to accompany that with. And I'm so sorry. If you hated that, so does my husband. But it doesn't stop me from grabbing for it now and then. And like I said, I compiled this at the very start of 2021. So coming out of a year like 2020, it's like, I'm gonna dance, I'm gonna shake, and therefore I had to have it. And there you have it. That is my self-care toolkit. I hope that you like this idea. I cannot take any credit whatsoever for it. This is all Lisa Papez and her video, which I will be linking below. And I also recommend Lisa's Self-Worth Path book, which I have on Kindle, but it is also available in paperback, and it is lovely. She is a wonderful guide in that realm. That is her forte. And yeah, so that does it. That's my self-care toolkit. Here's to looking out for ourselves, not in a selfish way, just in a self-caring way, to help bolster us so that we can be of more service and comfort to others when they need us. All right, then I will leave you at that, and I wish you all well. Take care of yourselves. Bye.